The news that dropped on our desk is a very strange to the ears of some people who have already believed within themselves that Nigerians living in Nigeria or wherever it is that they reside are the ones that are the master or the only country involved in scam. Of course, some might talk about Indians. They will also talk about Ghanaians, like that. But the shocker of this is this. The Economic Financial Crimes Commission busted a syndicate of 792 scammers, cryptocurrency investment scammers, romance fraud scammers. 193 are Chinese. We have Arabs, we have Filipinos, and others. I'm going to break it down. And you probably will start getting a clearer thought and mindset about it all. Because if you go to other countries that are kind of not getting the right information, they will be like, oh, Nigerians. The thing is this, who are those that are hiding behind the country called Nigeria to perpetrate crime? And talk about percentage. What is the percentage of Nigerians involved in fraud, scam, compared to these foreign nationals who are in Africa? The executive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ola Olukoyede, has disclosed that the commission, in a landmark raid, arrested 792 suspects for their alleged involvement in cryptocurrency investment fraud and romance scam. The suspects were apprehended on Tuesday, December 10, 2024, in a surprise operation at their hideout, an imposing 7-story edifice known as Big Leaf Building on number 7 Oyin Jolayemi Street, Victoria Island, Lagos State, Nigeria. Following verifiable intelligence received by the commission, a media briefing on Monday, December 16, 2024, at the Lagos Zonal Directorate of the Commission, Olukoyede stated that 148 Chinese, 40 Filipinos, 2 Kazakhstan, 1 Pakistani, 1 Indonesian were arrested during the operation. This operation is very elaborate, and I want us to watch. Let us listen, and we'll be talking more. This is serious. Don't forget to like and share. Tap on the subscribe button.
Okay, let me start with a comment of the chairman of the EFCC,
Yes.
Mr. Olukoyede, that these persons do not even know who the owners of the company is, and that they are paid, like daily paid workers. Now, this speaks to two things. The fact that there is very serious unemployment in this country. There are too many jobless young men and women out there who can be recruited for any kind of negative purpose, whether criminal or otherwise. The second thing is that the chairman of the EFCC saying, oh, these 792 suspects do not even know who the owners of the company are. I think the owners is on the security agencies, not just the EFCC, to find out who the owners of the company are, how they manage right in the heart of Lagos, Victoria Island, to rent a 7-story building,
Unbelievable.
set up a massive operation involving high-end technology, and they recruited so many people in their hundreds. And the Nigerian security system could not notice them, could not find out what they were doing until now. That means that this operation may have been going on for a very long time. And now that they have found them, I think the owners should not be let off the hook. Now look at the profile of the foreigners involved. About 114 Chinese people, two persons from Kazakhstan, were 2 from the Philippines. I think there were also Filipinos, 14 Filipinos.
And Indonesians.
All these people, they are supposed to have immigration permits.
Yes.
Or what do they call it? Work visa or something in Nigeria. So the Nigerian immigration system could not trace them, could not track them to know what exactly they do in Nigeria. That they will now set up an amoral criminal enterprise called the investment scam and romance scam. And they teach these many Nigerians that they recruit how to deceive women overseas, giving them SIM cards. SIM cards, over 500 SIM cards were seized at that location. Now, I thought they said for you to have a SIM card, you must register it. And it must be linked to, is it NIN? Mm-hmm. Yes. So that shows again this registration of SIM cards is not something that is working. It works only for decent human beings who are law-abiding. It doesn't seem to work for criminals in our midst. So these are the various areas of investigation that the Nigerian state needs to look into, apart from the other details about making sure that this operation does not continue. And we do not want to hear that these people are all released and they go back to their scam operation. Because this is Nigeria. It can happen.
Anything can happen. I mean, you're absolutely right that this whole scam was happening under the watch of the security forces in Nigeria. I mean, you're not the only one, Dr. Pati. Let me take this comment from Collins, who wrote, EFCC can parade 193 foreigners in one raid, but can't lay a finger on the real syndicates looting Nigeria dry. Where are the headlines for those who padded the national budget, the oil thieves with private jets, politicians with unexplained mansions in Dubai and London, governors turning state funds into personal piggy banks, while you are raiding big leaf buildings? The real big men are walking free with immunity and luxury.
And not even credit to the Efcc because we're able to discover intelligence and the work of the to some of the suspects that we have. All of them have been identified successfully and charged with the court.
This was not the governor that arrested
all of them. We have to do all the resources that we have in this man.
The issue of the SIM cards is something that as a nation we have to really look at, and then the procedures. I can assure you these SIM cards were not bought in the street. So as time goes on, you will hear other details in respect of this. Thank you. Then the other from Abraman, yeah, from which, okay. So whether it's the first time we're carrying this kind of massive arrest. The director media just told you that it is the first of its kind that we arrested this kind of large number of this magnitude, over 700 in one operation. He asked the question whether it was done the same day. It was done the same day. It was just between the hours of between 5:30 to around 10 o'clock before we finished moving them. PM. Yeah. Thank you. For those of us that are conversant with legal issues, it is something that we are still on that, and at the right time we will let you know everything. For now, please just bear with us. Thank you very much. Talking to you about the recruitment process, what they tell you is that you are going into marketing. They have marketing that you are going into, so that's what they say to you. So, so it is when they enter, most of them will now confess to you that when they entered, now realize that what they were doing was not what they were recruited or said to do. So some of them will tell you that, once I realized that I just wanted to get salary and go away.
Welcome back. Now, the EFCC boss explained how this operation, from what they have gathered so far. So let me break it down so you understand how these things work. These foreign nationals rented a facility which could be mistaken for a corporate headquarters of a financial establishment. What they do is to lure in young Nigerians who are seeking for a job. Then they train them, and in between, they begin to teach them how to initiate romance and investment scams. What they tell them is this: look, you guys are marketers. What you're going to do is that you will be chatting with clients from America, from the UK, from Europe, from wherever. You'll be chatting with them. Once you have conned them, meaning if you have brought them into confidence. You know, normally people don't like to invest, but the only way to invest is when they have confidence in you, when they trust you. So we are going to create a profile for you so that this person will trust you. And then once they are ready to invest, you give them the website and leave the rest for us. This is how they operate. So for a young person who is not really thinking deep, will not be able to decipher, to see in between the lines, like, wait, I think this is scam, this is fraud. I'll break it down so you understand. There are certain online adverts on Facebook all over the place where you will see people trying to sell electronics far cheaper, half the price of the original price. So what they do is this: they go on certain groups and say, if you want a job, you want a referral job, there is a percentage for you. Just take this picture of this electronics. It could be any electronics, mobile phones, it could be anything, it could be a gaming set, whatever. Go and post it on your own platform. Once people ask for this product, send them this link. Once they buy, we will give you your percentage. It is the same thing. Now, this happens all over Europe, and you even see Europeans involved in it. Are we going to say, oh, they know that they are scammers and they are doing this willingly? It's the same thing that applies to this. So they use the identities of these Nigerians to perpetrate their criminal activities, according to the Efcc. All the floors are equipped with high-end desktop computers, 500 SIM cards of local telecommunication companies were bought for criminal purposes. Now, these Nigerians that they brought into, recruited in, these foreign kingpins recruited them to prospect for victims online through phishing, targeting mostly Americans, Canadians, Mexicans, and several people from European countries. They usually give them desktop computers, mobile phones, and they also will create fake profiles for them to work with. Then the Nigerian accomplices are equally provided with logs that allow them to access to foreign communication lines and victims which they chat with on WhatsApp, Instagram, and Telegram. And they monitor them. They monitor them. Now, there is one thing. Once these Nigerians are able to get clients, as they are called, and they pass the information to them and all of that, they hijack and then cut off the Nigerian. They block them and they defraud these foreigners. I mean, these foreigners defrauding the foreigners. That's what I mean. Now, while giving further details about the modus operandi of the syndicate, the FCC chair said the Nigerian accomplices who are assigned WhatsApp accounts linked to foreign telephone numbers, especially from Germany, Italy, engage victims in romantic conversation as well as phantom business and investment discussions to trick them to shop on purported online investment shopping platform called www.yooto.com, called yoto.com. Now, for those who show interest, activation fees for an account on the platform start from 35 USD. Investigation revealed that the criterion for recruiting these young Nigerians is proficiency in the use of computers, especially typing skill. Those who pass the test are given desktop computers and mobile devices and then taken through a 2-week induction on how to impersonate foreign females in romance chats and convince victims to invest in their employer's cryptocurrency investment scam. Once the Nigerians are able to win the confidence of the would-be victims, the foreigners will take over the actual task of defrauding the victims and proceed to block their Nigerian accomplices from the network. This will then leave them in the dark about the transaction. This is how they have been operating. And these people just applied for work, thinking we are working, we are legit. However, The Nigerians involved in these alleged fraudulent activities do not know the owners of the company they work for because they are not offered letters of appointment or receive payment from a corporate account. According to him, the suspected Nigerian accomplices are usually paid either cash through individual accounts. So they are given like a kind of a stipend, like, okay, you'll be on a salary, we'll be paying this X and Y amount of money. Why they do the defrauding of the thing? According to the Efcc, he said, gone are those days, and it is time to debunk the notion that Nigerians are behind the tons of frauds emanating from the country. Foreigners are taking advantage of our nation's unfortunate reputation as a having of frauds to establish a foothold here to disguise their atrocious criminal enterprises. But as this operation has shown, there will be no hiding place for criminals in Nigeria, he said. Also speaking during the occasion, the zonal director, Lagos, also spoke at length about what and what. I think this is becoming clearer because I've looked at it. I said, what is the percentage of Nigerians that are into fraud? Chinese, Indians, and the rest of these people. You see, imagine the number of people that were arrested. All of them in Nigeria, operating using the Nigerian network. Now, if investigation is to be done, let's say the FBI or whatever does any investigation, so Nigeria, documentaries will be done constantly. Have you ever heard publicly, have you ever heard internationally that Chinese or Filipinos or any of these people are into fraud this way? No, but look at the number of people. And this is not just the only cell. They have more cells all over. You would think it's a corporate company because they are registered as if they are corporate companies. But what they do is serious.